So here's my question to the two of you. Where do we see this ending? Where's this gonna, how far is this gonna go? Because right now the price curve, Heidi, you mentioned it, and I saw this written up in the news. Maui, median price for single family homes has been over $1 million now for, I think, 3 months. I think that's going to be a permanent fixture. I don't think it's going to go back down below. Prices are continuing to inch up as demand is still high and supply is still low. Where does this end? Heidi, do you have any sense of where this is going to end? Yeah, I mean, you've been in the business for a while. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know the future, Peter,
None of
but
us do. None of us do.
I see more of a leveling off. I mean, I think the big jumps in prices might have already happened, but I mean, demand's just not slowing down because even though there's not a lot of listings, there's all these buyers that have been waiting and waiting and now are ready and now the time is right for them. So as soon as new listings come on the market, I mean, there's going to be buyers for it. So, I mean, to me, that there's no indication of this slowing down anytime soon. I mean, I think it would take some kind of world event or major changes in policies or I mean something. But just the normal market, I mean, demand is not slowing down. I think if anything, we're just going to see maybe leveling off a little bit. I mean, I don't foresee prices jumping quite as drastically this next year, but I mean, buyers aren't going away.
I think the big thing my big takeaway from you, Heidi, is that the demand is still high. And laws of economics, demand, high demand, low supply, prices go up. Scott, what do you think? If you here's a question from Jen, and I think it's relevant to the conversation here. So Jen says, "Look, not trying to predict the future, but with the insurgence of new residents, do you anticipate that we will have a exit in another few years?" Jen, I'm not sure what you mean by exit. My understanding, I guess, exit from this madness. My understanding is there is a high percentage of folks who move to Hawaii only to not like it and move back. Thoughts? So Jen, there's a lot of people who come to Hawaii and move back. But I'm going to put that category. Those aren't the kind of people that plunk down $1 million for a home. The folks who plunk down a million or 700,000 for a condo or whatever, they've gone through the process. They've been a part of the island or Ohana too. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I don't think that the ones who come, and there are many who leave. There's no question. I mean, a quick statistic I've got for you. Is that the Department of Economic Development, last time I checked, which was a while ago, but I think the stat is still the same. We had about approximately 50,000 people that move to Hawaii every year, and about 60,000 people that leave Hawaii every year. Now, it's not the same 50 that leave, but it's just to kind of show you that there's a lot of people that are leaving Hawaii. I don't think it's the people that just bought a home. Scott, where do you see this going? You're pretty good at predictions, and we're not going to hold you to anything because that's not what we do here. We all know that the future is in motion and no one can see the future. But where do you see this ending, Scott?
Yeah, 100% of what I'm going to predict is going to be wrong. But
there you go.
I mean, I see it continuing to go on until either something drastic changes, which could be interest rates. Or affordability, or you hit an affordability ceiling. Because part of what's driving this, besides a lifestyle factor, is the fact that interest rates dropped so much, and that created effectively a 17.5% price drop. So if we're up 21%, that's only like 4% that we're up. And I remember Paul Brubaker was saying on his presentation from the economic side that affordability prior to the shutdown was extremely good. In general, from a marketplace standpoint, housing was actually very affordable for people. And then you have the interest rate drop. So we've got this affordability component that's allowing us to continue to go upward. People can afford it. And I think there's a little bit of like Heidi said, I think we'll start to slow down. We won't continue with 20% price appreciation. That's not sustainable. I think next year we may be double digits, but I think it'll be, in the 10% range, somewhere around there. But something's drastically got to change in the short run to change it on the short period here. I see this kind of carrying out for maybe two more years, maybe, but slowing in the acceleration.
I do think that the curve is gonna flatten off per se. In other words, the acceleration curve is gonna flatten down, but it's gonna continue. Now, again, the future is always in motion. I mean, there could be an epsilon a variant shutdown. I mean, this thing, we could be, we could be doing COVID forever, and will the world change then? Tom Kerr jumped in as you're just as you were talking about the interest rates. When interest rates start to change in 2023, if the Feds change rates, that could be one of it. So, Scott, basically what you just made me aware of, and you mentioned this before, but I kind of hammer it again. The interest rate drop was effectively a big discount. It was a 17% discount in prices. So, of course, we kind of almost had like a perfect storm, right? You had a kind of drop in interest rates, which essentially was a price cut. Laws of economics, prices go down, more people are going to buy. So you had that. Plus you had the whole COVID thing where people were staying and they didn't want to move because they were uncertain. Plus you had people that realized that Hawaii is the place that you want to be. And so you had a whole influx of things, and you had remote workers. So all kinds of things that kind of all coming together. And like you, I don't see these things. I don't see these things changing. So, all right.
I met with a guy. Actually, I met. He said he watched the show. I met with him in Kailua, and he had a really good point that I believe in. But he said it in a way that was really interesting. We all live on cash flow, so we buy our house on cash flow. If we make $10,000 a month, we're going to put our mortgage payment or our house payment at like $5,000 a month because we want to be positive cash flow, right? And you have to for lender guidelines. So people can still afford those payments fairly easily because the interest rate drop was so good, right? So from a cash flow standpoint, it's very affordable for housing for people right now, and they're going to continue to buy until it's not.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it's going to go. Heidi, is there anything else you want to add before we move on to the next part of the show?
No, I think that covers it. I mean, I think people just waiting for a big drop,
I don't think the drop's coming. And then slow down.
I've been talking to buyers since 2014 that keep saying, I'm going to wait till the market crashes and then I'm going to buy. And they've completely missed out.
Wow, that's a great one, Heidi. Since 2014, yeah, I think you missed out. There ain't no crash. We're not going back to 2014, folks. Ain't going back to 2014. Not at all. Phil Shepard just joined us. Aloha. Welcome, Phil. Good to see you, buddy.
Phil was who gave me that bit of advice.
There you go, Phil. Oh, great. Excellent. Well, Phil, we're glad that you're here with us again. And cash flow is king. Absolutely. Right. We got that for. And then Auntie Joyce chimes in. I know natives who are part of the exodus to the mainland, and one did because she got a lot of money for their homes and others were priced out of the market. Yep. There's all kinds of dynamics, right, Auntie Joyce? I mean, look, there's a lot of people who are, everyone's got a different life, right? Everyone has different lives. And this is why what makes free economies so much more prosperous than controlled economies, because people have different reasons. Some people have, family on the mainland that they want to return to. And this is a perfect time for them to sell the home that they bought 20, 30 years ago. And it's appreciated now. And they could sell it for, over $1 million. And some people are retiring on the mainland with family. Others are moving in the opposite direction because they got remote work and they can do. We have a couple, Scott, as you know, we have a couple members of the Islander Ohana who have been able to move and buy a home in Oahu because they can do, and Maui for that matter, they can do remote work. So everyone's changing. There's all kinds of different reasons. So excellent.